Dealing a crippling blow to Russia's economy, the United States announced a ban on all imports of Russian oil as Russia's invasion of Ukraine continues. Civilian death toll mounts and refugees flee the war-torn country. Before we delve into the fallout of the ban, let's hear what President Biden said while making the announcement.
Today, I'm announcing the United States is targeting the main artery of Russia's economy. We're banning all imports of Russian oil and gas and energy. That means Russian oil will no longer be acceptable at U.S. ports, and the American people will deal another powerful blow to Putin's war machine.
It is indeed a powerful blow to Russia, which is one of the biggest exporters of oil and natural gas in the world. The move is also likely to impact Western consumers, and President Biden acknowledged that.
The decision today is not without cost here at home. Putin's war is already hurting American families at the gas pump. Since Putin began his military buildup on Ukrainian borders, just since then, the price of the gas at the pump in America went up 75 cents. And with this action, it's going to go up further.
Following the United States, the UK too announced plans to phase out Russian oil by the end of the year. UK's Business Secretary Kwasi Kwarteng said that this transition will give the market, businesses and supply chains more than enough time to replace Russian imports. Russian oil makes up 8% of UK demands. The oil sanction does not apply to Russian natural gas, which accounts for some 4% of UK supply. But Kwarteng said he was exploring options to end this altogether. The European Union, which is heavily dependent on Russian gas, said it plans to cut imports by 2/3 and end its reliance on Russian supplies of the fuel well before 2030. Russia supplies around 40% of the bloc's natural gas. Gas flows to Europe have so far been steady since the invasion. However, Moscow on Monday warned that Western sanctions on Russian oil could prompt it to close a major gas pipeline to Europe.
Just to underscore that we're not standing here, Kadri and myself, to say this is going to be in any way easy. But I am also deeply convinced that even if it's not easy, even if it's going to be very hard, it is something we need to do, because now it's also intimately linked to our security.
Oil giants BP and Shell too announced plans to halt purchase of Russian oil. Crude oil prices, which have remained high all week, also surged, but remained below Monday's peak of $139 a barrel, which was the highest it reached in 14 years. Meanwhile, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky was quick to thank President Biden after his announcement.
Я вдячний особисто президенту Сполучених Штатів Америки Байдену за це рішення, за це лідерство, за цей максимально потужний сигнал всьому світу. Він дуже простий. Кожен цент, сплачений Росії, вона перетворює на кулі та снаряди, які летять в інші суверенні держави.
For more on this, WION correspondent Susan Teherani sent us this report from New York.
After lawmakers on both sides of the aisle called for action on the issue in a plea by Ukrainian President Zelensky, the United States has stopped the import of Russian oil. President Biden made the announcement targeting the lifeblood of Moscow's economy as the West continues its pressure campaign against Russian President Vladimir Putin for its invasion of Ukraine. According to the executive order signed by the U.S. president, the U.S. ban takes effect immediately, applies to new Russian crude oil imports, certain petroleum products, liquefied natural gas, and coal. The U.S. is also giving companies 45 days to wind down existing contracts for Russian energy supplies. While Russian oil makes up a small portion of crude oil imports, and many U.S. companies had already stopped short of doing business with Russia due to previous sanctions, the U.S. administration hopes that these new bans and sanctions will cause those companies and others to distance themselves further from doing business with Russia. It will, however, also drive gas prices up for American consumers here in the United States, which is already at an all-time high. President Biden said that he will do everything he can to shield Americans from the continued high prices of gasoline. However, members in his own party and some in the White House are concerned that these high prices will ultimately become a liability for the Democratic Party moving into the 2022 elections. A recent opinion poll, however, found that 71% of Americans supported the ban on Russian oil to the United States. Meanwhile, Republican lawmakers and some Democrats as well are saying that President Biden should increase domestic oil production in response to the crisis in Ukraine. However, the Biden administration so far has not yielded to that request. It does say it hopes to make the United States energy independent. However, it's decided to take another path. Susan Tehrani reporting from New York for WION World is One.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.